Hey guys, it's Dan, and today we're going to be doing another Season 3 Walking Dead television series reviews. This is the next episode I have for my Walking Dead throwback reviews that I've been doing during the break for Season 7 leading up to Season 8 of The Walking Dead. This is going to be my review for Season 3, Episode 2, called Sick. Now, this is going back, good seasons now. Of course, we're coming back, we're reviewing some of the older episodes of The Walking Dead, and this one is a great episode for the series. This is one of the most tense episodes between a group versus group that we've seen, at least up to this point in the series, because the prisoners are pretty intimidating. They'll stab you in the back, so to speak, at least the majority of them. The only guys who probably wouldn't would be of course Axel and the other guy, I forget his name, Oscar. Is that his name? Yeah, Oscar, right? Axel and Oscar. Those guys are alright, but of course they were all in jail for something. But of course we get the idea that Thomas, Andrew, and some others there that were pretty bad actually. Like the little one there that tried to kill Rick after he killed Thomas. Him and Thomas himself being very brutal, as we saw him put down his prisoner friend just like nothing. Just like it was nothing. And a lot of really awesome stuff. So let's get started with the beginning of the episode. We have the beginning of the episode with after they chopped off Herschel's leg. Of course, the prisoners come in and they're kind of shocked. They point their weapons at them. Daryl's like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "Who are you?" Like that type of deal. And then Glenn's like, "You got any medical supplies?" He doesn't even ask. He just goes back there. And then of course they've been trapped there for months, so they don't know what's going on. They don't know why Rick Troop's pointing guns at them. T-Dog's pointing the gun. Daryl's got his crossbow up. Glenn's just plowing through, going through the back, looking for any medical supplies in the cafeteria. And then basically what they do is they don't mean to, but because they have to get Herschel back to the cell block, they kind of lead the prisoners to that. And it's pretty interesting because we actually do see them follow them back, and we see like a confrontation where basically they take the prisoners outside and they tell them like what's going on. And they said, if I was to kill you, you'd come back as one of these things, And I like that. And then you basically get Rick saying, "This prison is ours. We spilled blood for it." And then he's like, "Well, we were here first, locked in a closet or locked in a room closet or something." And Rick he laughs and he's like, "Really? This is not your prison. You were an enemy, and you came to this prison because that's what a prison is for. You never did own this prison, so it's ours." And he basically makes that point clear that if we see you out here anywhere near our people trying to hurt them or anything, because they basically give them their cell block. And that's the deal. But if they see them around their people, Rick says, "I'll kill you, and don't you think I won't?" Right? That type of deal. And basically he's like, "Deal?" And he's like, "Deal," right? But he's obviously, Thomas is just too crazy to not go along with Rick's plan. He's gonna mess it up, and of course he does. But when he tries to kill Rick, when he takes a little slash at Rick, that's when Rick kind of looks at Daryl and is like, "Okay, once we're done clearing these zombies, we're done. We've given these guys a chance, and all they keep doing is, they're just messing around." So then what we end up seeing is a pretty sweet sequence where we see actually, which I didn't actually expect to happen, Rick actually, at first they're clearing the tombs, and it's like, oh, okay, what's going to happen? And then you get to the point where, of course, they're not aiming for the head like they said, right? They're not listening to Rick and the others. And basically what ends up happening is that, they're not going for the brain. The walkers are starting to attack them. And then basically, eventually, we get the first death of the prisoners, which is the big guy, I don't know his name. I think his name was Andrew. It's ridiculous because, he just gets scratched right on the arm, and of course, they think, okay, well, we'll have to chop off the hand, or, he's going to bleed out. We just take him back to the cell block and wait for him to die, I guess. But Thomas has a really dark plan, which is to just kill him, just totally beat him to death with the little wrench, hammer thing. And then he stands up, he's covered in blood, and Rick's just like, this dude is insane, and Rick kind of gives Daryl like that look, he's like, give me a signal, if you need to do something. And then, of course, they get further on. They clear this other boiler room, and he said one door, just open one door. And then, he's like, oh, I said one door, right? And then, then all that happens is that basically he tries to take a slash at Rick. Rick, is lucky enough to actually not get hurt, but because he survived, he knows that he could have died there. He could have got slashed in the face. That would have been it for him. So he knows that, well, I can't take that chance anymore because the next time it could be for real and I could actually die because of this guy. So he realizes, okay, well, this is not going to work because this guy's not, he's too brutal. You can't trust him. He just beat some guy to death, and with a little, hammer. And it's like, no, you can't trust him. Little hatchet, whatever. So Rick just, the machete, just the one hit, and then Thomas goes down. Then this other, weird little dude, him with the little baseball bat, he just goes, I don't even know his name. He's so like squirmy, and he, runs away and all that, and, then I don't know how he didn't die, because there was like, let me back in, you better run. But there was like walkers everywhere. There was no way out. No way out. And I just don't understand how he survives, because then we see him a couple episodes later. I'm like, what the heck? But since he does survive, that does actually cause some big problems, later on with the boiler room and all that. But still, anyway, really great episode. Another thing I want to mention, Herschel wakes up at the end, and it takes all episode, and they think he's gonna die. I didn't really care about that. They also make a deal, they have some corn, some potatoes, with the prisoners. They make a deal, we only have a little left, it's like, just a little left, really? We see a couple other things, but those are the main things from this episode that really stuck out to me. There's some other just random scenes. You get Lori, who actually saves Herschel, and, we get the scene with Rick and her at the end, really, really great episode. So, all in all, I like this episode. I'm going to have to give this one a 9.4. I did enjoy this. Really action-packed, and I love the beginning of the prison story arc for the TV series. And, around this time, I'm like, when is the governor going to come in? And then, of course, next episode he comes in. So I'm going to have to review that episode really soon, probably in the next week or so.